What's up, YouTube fans? Today, we're going to take a look at the Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origin Bumblebee. But it fits in with the War for Cybertron line. It is obviously Bumblebee from the origin story on Cybertron before he became an actual Volkswagen Beetle. But you can see him here. It looks really cool. He's got a really nice head sculpt there. Actually, better head sculpt than the Netflix Bumblebee. Although the eyes are a little small, I think the overall shape of the head is pretty cool. You got blue paint here on the chest, Autobot Temple logo there. Black here. You got a lot of kibble here on the side of the legs, unfortunately, because it turns into the little ship. Here's the back. Relatively clean, not a huge backpack. There's a little bit here. But for what it transforms into, I was pretty surprised at how compact this gets. So he does come with some cool accessories. So you do get this jetpack right here. It's just black plastic. It's not painted at all. That does fit into his back right here. And you can also store it there in vehicle mode if you wanted to. But that looks nice. I like that. You also get his blaster. It's in black here. Not sure why they chose black, but that's what they chose. And that'll fit into his hand here. I don't have my Netflix Bumblebee anymore, so I'm not sure if this gun will fit with the Netflix, but I would imagine it does fit, and it probably fits with all the Netflix figures with this size port. Finally, you also get, which is a cool accessory but unfortunate, is these Energon, whatever. So this was what he was collecting when he was on Cybertron in that initial scene, the opening scene of Transformers G1. He was collecting these things. Now, the reason it's unfortunate is it doesn't fit in his hand. You know, I thought maybe one of these caps came off or something to allow it to fit in the hand, but it doesn't. So that's kind of silly. You could probably cut that off, and then he could hold these. But unfortunately, because he can't do that, you can't hold it. You can kind of try to cheat it. You can sort of go like that, and then have him sort of stick it in there. I don't know. It's sort of silly the way they did this. They could have made it better, but they didn't. But there you go. You can be holding it, and then you can give some to Wheeljack. We will actually be looking at Wheeljack, but there you go. Now let's take a look at Bumblebee's articulation. So the head is on a ball joint. It goes up to there, down to there, and rotates around. It is pretty tight on that ball joint. The arm rotates all the way around here and goes up to there. Rotation at the bicep. Single jointed elbow gets you past 90 degrees. Nothing on the wrist other than just folds in for transformation. You have a waist swivel, no ab crunch. You can kind of cheat and I guess untransform some things, but it's not really there. So you just basically have a waist swivel. You have a leg movement up to there, back to there, out to the side, all on friction. Rotation at the thigh. You have a double jointed knee, but it does run into this, so you could probably get more if you open this up. Yeah, you can. So you can get a little bit more with that double jointed knee. You have an ankle tilt out to there, and a pivot, a rocker this way, and you can get it extended if you need it taller, so you can just do a lot with that. It is for transformation, but it really works out for his articulation. And then the backpack does have a little bit of movement here. You can move it up and down, or put it straight, whatever you like. So now let's get Bumblebee into his vehicle mode. Go ahead and take the gun out of the hand. Take these hands and fold them in. Classic hideaway. I'm glad they did it on the bottom instead of on the side. It always looks ugly when it's on the side, but at least there it hides away a little bit. We can come to the back here, take off the backpack as well, and set that aside. Open up the backpack. You're going to take this piece and straighten this up. It's going to clip in here. It is translucent plastic, so you just want to be careful. Pull it and get it to tab in there. And just leave that there for now. We'll take care of that in just a minute. Go ahead and open up the chest and extend that out. And you can bring that to the front. This is going to accordion down, and you can peg that in. You can see it's going to fit right into there and there. So it should look something like that when you're done. On the bottom here, these arms are going to flip inwards. And rotate the waist first, and that's going to tab in here. This arm's going to flip inwards. And you can see there's a peg there that's going to fit in right there. So make sure that lands in that spot. All right, next come to the legs here. Take these, you can fold those downwards to give you a little bit of room. And take these side panels here, open these up. And sometimes they come off the peg there, so go ahead and put them back on. But that's going to fold flat like that, and then this piece can go like that. Take the toe piece here, and that's going to fold downwards and peg back in there, and that's going to make one side. You're going to take that entire piece here, and that's going to accordion down. So this piece is going to go under and tab into the bottom here, while this piece is going to go and tab into the top. So go ahead and peg that down there. This is going to come and peg into here. And it does fit into that piece. It's on a ball joint, so I find that sometimes it pops off that ball joint. Like that. Same on this side. Go ahead and open this up. You can open up this foot and get that pegged in. Open up this panel here. Rotate the entire thing to the back. It's going to go underneath and peg in there. And then you can see there's an over-under tab back here. So make sure you get that. And then peg that front panel in and give it a nice squeeze. And there is Bumblebee in his little ship mode. It's so cool looking. I don't know why I like the look of this so much, but it's got that nice blue translucent window. That same Autobot Tempo shows up here. Here's the back. There is a painted surface here. You can tell there's different yellows. I think you can tell on the camera. So these are a different yellow than this, which is painted up here. And then that's a different yellow than this, which is unpainted, but it's a different color plastic. So there's a mix of plastic colors here, which is kind of odd, but it's still really cool looking. Now, there isn't really a specific spot for the gun. You could put, bluches here. You can put guns there. You can put it in the middle. Probably looks the best in the middle, like that. And then you don't really have a spot for this. Honestly, you could put it up here, but I think it looks best just leave it off. But if you wanted to, you could give them extra boosters, and now you can really blast some bad guys. You can also store it down here if you want to, so you can be flying around with that, but then he doesn't sit evenly on the ground. But either way, you can display it different ways. Personally, I think it looks best with the gun, just like that. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Earthrise Optimus. Makes sense, little guy, little vehicle, and it's aerodynamic, so looks good. Final thoughts, you can see I've included the Kingdom version of Wheeljack here. I got this with the latest wave of Kingdom figures, which I haven't yet reviewed. That's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But it does look good next to the Earthrise or Kingdom Wheeljack. Let's start with the positives. I think the robot mode and vehicle mode look pretty good. The vehicle mode really nails that G1 cartoon look, that original episode. That's really awesome. The accessories that are included, although they're unpainted and uncolored, they are good to be included for a $20 figure. You got the jetpack, the gun, and 5 of these rods. Pretty good inclusion for that price point. I also like the articulation and the overall look and feel of this. It doesn't feel cheap, doesn't feel junky. It's a good look figure. On the negatives wise, I wish they'd included a way to bundle these rods together with a 5mm peg, so you could peg it into his hand or his arm or his backpack or something like that, right? So just so we could carry it a little bit easier. I had to kind of finagle it to get it to stay here. It's just kind of balancing there, but that would have been a nice inclusion. Also, I think there's a little bit of kibble down here that's kind of unsightly. It's definitely worse in pictures. I can tell you in hand it looks a lot better. The color scheme tends to hide it, but in person it looks better. In the pictures it just kind of stands out. The other negative, which is kind of not having to do with a figure, is the branding. So this is branded as Buzzworthy Bumblebee, not as the War for Cybertron line. If you look at the back of the box, it says Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy. So it is part of that line, but for whatever reason, they put it in this packaging with this look to it. It looks very kiddie. It doesn't look like an adult collector line. And even though it's packaged that way, I can tell you for certain it goes very well with the Kingdom and Earthrise line. In fact, this should have been a Siege figure because it goes with those Cybertronian modes. So I definitely recommend it. I just think they made a mistake with the branding on this. So good figure to conclude, especially if you're collecting the Siege and Earthrise line. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.